Hello, welcome or welcome back, either one. Like the title says, the L word is something that I feel like no one really talks about. The only discourse that I have with people is that they hate Jenny. I feel like there needs to be a deeper conversation of what really goes on because it is insane. So that's what I plan on doing today. I'm not going to explain. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory, this thing right here. Like if you can just look at it, and also this as well. Like let's get into it. We left off on episode 6 where Jenny had went missing, and obviously her and Tim broke up. Tim found out about her little affair with Marina here. He asks her, "Was that when I caught you and Marina together?" He gave her one chance. This is her one chance to tell the truth. And what does she do? She lies. And now she's homeless. And the first place she goes is Marina. And while she meets with Marina, Marina shows her the scars that Tim actually left her when they had that fight. Tim was grabbing on Marina. She shows Jenny, and then Jenny goes on this whole monologue how she's a coward, liar, cheater, the worst person ever. And this is the only time that I agree with Jenny. Actually, I'm like, wait. It's just like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to press charges. You can come stay with me. So Jenny now has a place to stay, and it's with her wife. We can already tell that Jenny is a wounded bird by all of the actions that she's making, and Marina is just treating her like she's this little precious, just little, but she's a demon. She's evil. Dana is up against something fierce, and that thing is capitalism and homophobia. They're strong. They are very strong. I know it good and well. Capitalism, I'm still stuck. Homophobia, I'm not there. But in episode 6, we see that Dana's Subaru ad comes out, literally. And it says out and proud. And Dana doesn't know what to do. And she tells her agent that she wants to come out. And Laura is just trying to be with her girlfriend. She's trying to have a good time with her girlfriend. How could you blame someone for that? You can't. She accused Laura of being too much on her, and she breaks up with Laura. Unfortunately, they are done for. And now we're back to our favorite two people, our main characters, Jenny and Marina. Jenny, she's rooming with Marina, right? I'm gonna just go with my wife, I'm homeless. And she comes to find out that Marina actually has a wife too. Her name is Francesca. And Francesca, she is a drill sergeant. Just basically leaves Marina there and kind of just expects Marina to behave while she's gone. And then when she comes back, Marina's only hers. And this is the first time we actually see Marina in kind of like non-dominant light. She seems so quiet and like doesn't know what to do. I think I'm getting the timeline of the Subaru ad like all types of like mixed up. Her Subaru ad does come out in episode 7. Dana's in love with it. She's actually like, you know what? I don't care. Goes to her agent and she fires her agent. Thank God. With Tim and Jenny. Jenny, like I said, she's pretty mad. She's pretty mad at Marina because she's like, you had a wife this whole time and you were playing me? She ends up going back to Tim. He lets her stay for one night. I don't know what he sees in her. I don't know. Now we're on to episode 8. If you could not tell, the chart actually didn't change at all because no one hooked up, no one cheated. So let's start off with Bet and Tina. So in this episode, they enter kind of a what I would call therapy hell. Bet is like allergic to therapy. She's allergic to expressing her feelings and like saying anything. And now moving on to Jenny Schechter. Jenny has her friend come in town, her friend from college, and she is basically explaining the whole situation to her friend. And her friend is obviously siding with Jenny, but her friend comes up with the wonderful idea that Jenny should start an outright war with Marina's wife. But y'all, if you have seen, you know Francesca don't play. She's heard about it from Jenny's point of view. Jenny is clearly delusional and psycho. And, well, yeah, she ends up putting Jenny in her place. Jenny loses the battle. Okay, I just took a dinner break, and my wig has not been the same since I put it back on. I know this is not even like biblically accurate. Shane, this is like drawn from memory, Shane. I'm doing the best with what I got. So let's move on here. We're on episode 9 now. This is another subject that we can study as a part of the L word. So we have a new addition. has been added to the cast. And of course, he's straight. And he's hooking up with Kit. Apparently, what's his name? His name is actually Slim Daddy. I should stop calling him Snoop Dogg. What a generational pull this was. Anywho, it was Dana versus capitalism at first, right? So Dana was, now it is actually Bet Porter versus Christ. She is trying to implement a new provocations, like I mentioned last video. She's implementing a new art exhibit, provocations, and it's a bit provocative, if I must say so myself. We'll see where that goes. I feel like we haven't checked in with myself, Shane McCutcheon. We have a new addition here. This episode is where we meet Sherry Jaffe. And surprisingly enough, this is the first straight woman that we know of that Shane has gotten with. I feel like lesbians like Shane, they love straight women for the chase. They love the chase, right? And so it's actually a miracle that our writers here have gotten through 9 episodes before pairing Shane with a straight woman. So Shane meets Sherry Jaffe. Obviously, you can see that there's a line here. We haven't gotten there yet. But she meets Sherry Jaffe and she does her hair. But Sherry Jaffe leaves a pretty big tip when Shane does her hair. And so Shane is pretty excited because she's like, I must be pretty good at cutting hair, right? Couldn't be further from the truth, actually. They do start having an affair because Sherry Jaffe is indeed married, because why wouldn't she be? Again, I said it's a miracle. It's actually just a miracle. We should be grateful that the writers didn't put Shane with a straight woman earlier. Shane McCutcheon getting pimped out by a white woman. It was only a matter of time. I think we need to have a case study on this man right here. See, I put him as straight, right? He identifies as lesbian, but I'm not even, that would be an insult if I put that man's bars as lesbian. I'm not going to normalize whatever he's got going on. But Alice finally breaks up with Lisa. Finally. Moving on to Bet again. Bet was having some trouble at the CAC. Come to find out, we actually have our very first villain, Faye Buckley, who is a conservative Christian person. Okay, everyone. Okay, episode 10, here we are. Shit. Okay. And next on the chopping block here, another case study for the books. Jenny goes to Tim's house one day, and it's amazing what she finds there, because she goes and Tim is actually moving on. He's a high school swim coach. He is sleeping. He is hanging out with one of his students. Dating. They're dating. They're on a date. They've been on dates before, and she's now at his house, and they're having fun. Oh, haha, this is my boyfriend. That's where Tim and Jenny are right now. Now back to Shane, Dana, and Alice. By Alice coming in and admitting that she might be pregnant with Lisa's baby. Again, guys, what happened when I take the PlayStation? Seriously? First lesbian ever to pull that off. I've never seen a storyline like that ever. I've seen a lot of lesbian movies. I've seen a lot of lesbian television. Never. And back to Shane. Shane is actually doing pretty well. Shane is falling in love. Yes. Shane is falling deep. And you're probably thinking to yourself, there's just no way this could end well. And you would be correct. And we have finally arrived to season 1's second half, Reckoning Day. They're at the bar. She shows up. Kit sees a good friend of hers. A good friend of hers has a sister named Candace. Candace, she's gay. She's actually gay. And Bet is very much openly checking her out and flirting with her. Yes. While her wife is mourning their child together. Bet is outside. But meanwhile, somehow she's going to do this public debate, and she actually finds some pretty good ammo. If I do say so myself, it's pretty good ammo. She actually finds out that Faye Buckley, the villain, her daughter is actually a star And Bet is not like Michelle Obama, okay? When they go low, Bet goes to hell. So Bet's kind of living good right now, unfortunately. Back to Shane. Sherry Jaffe's husband actually is taking a liking to Shane too, because obviously he doesn't know anything. And he's like, Shane, why don't you just hang out with my daughter? Like, she's kind of like out there and you are too, so just hang out with her, show her a good time. She doesn't like anything. Just hang out with her, you know? And Shane does it, but she's like, of course. Again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, you're in love with somebody, yet she just cannot keep it in her pants, even for a teenage girl. She was teaching her how to play golf, and the daughter was trying to kiss her. She did say no, but I fear that if she was not in love with Sherry Jaffe, she might have done it. We're in trouble. No one knows about it, right? But the daughter is in love with Shane. And we're wrapping up with this episode with the debate between Faye Buckley and Bet Porter, which is just crazy. It's actually insane, right? I think it's an equal match for sure. One goes low, the other one goes lower. Bet finally pulls out that card that she has, that Faye's daughter is in the industry that I shall not name. And Faye is shocked. Yes, she is indeed shocked. And everyone is like, oh. But actually, Faye pulls out her card too and says, well, that's why God took your child. You're a lesbo. And you don't deserve happiness or a family. That child does not deserve a loving family. Because you're a lesbo, you're a sinner. And that basically ends the whole debate because she took it too far. She did. She took it to hell. Yes, they both took it to hell. Beth cries on live television. Yes. All right, number 11. Here we go. Alice has discovered she got her period. We are free of the lesbian man, Lisa. This is going to be amazing and fun and legendary. We actually get to hear everyone's coming out story, and they're all actually hilarious. Dana apparently had her first coming out with a famous tennis player who they had to blur out her face or name because she's famous now. She's a famous tennis player now. My guess is Serena Williams. Alice came out because there was a girl in her band who she had a crush on, and she broke up with her boyfriend to get with this girl because she was more interested in her than her boyfriend. Tina has actually the most hilarious coming out of all because Tina was actually straight before she met Bet. Bet was her first and only girlfriend. In this flashback, we actually see Bet with a fob, a bob, a fob. I don't know who put her in that install, but oh my god. Bet went up to Tina and was like, "Oh, your earring, she's like, "Your earring is," and she's like all close to her and like, "Oh, here's your earring. It was in your hair." And I guess the rest is history. All the girls, they're at this event. They're having fun because it's like there's a bunch of women there. And meanwhile, Dana, she meets a manager while she's on the trip. She has a manager that is taking care of her, and the manager is like a lot. She is overbearing and quite energetic. Flashing back to Bet and Candace, and in this moment, they finally have a smooch together. She's kind of like, no, and then, she has a moment afterwards. So, Bet, you can see that it's conflicting in Bet, but not enough. The girls, they all come back, and Tina, she goes to surprise Bet, and she goes behind Bet, and Bet is like, thinks it's Candace, and she's like, oh, I can't. Look behind her. It's actually Tina. And she's like, oh, and Tina's like, what? And she's like, oh, nothing. That is where we conclude on episode 11. Episode 12, here we are. I know my hair gets progressively either better or worse every single 5 seconds, but I'm trying my best with this wig. Bet Porter is at the CAC, and those conservative protesters even though she had a public debate with Faye Buckley and arguably won in a way, these conservatives are still after her and they're protesting outside of the CAC where she works. So Bet takes it upon herself, her, Shane, Dana, Alice, and Candace are all creating a barrier. They're just fighting the protesters. They're just trying to keep people out. They end up getting locked up for it. I think that some of them deserve to stay in there for like a week max. To no one's surprise, Bet ends up going to jail, beefing with my chick while I'm in jail. And she's in the same cell as Candace. I just realized I forgot to change the figure. So this is the new figure. And they're so hot and heavy in the cell that they literally don't know what to do. And so they start singing the ABCs and start doing math. A quick YouTube search will do you justice, and I'm sorry for making you look at it. While they're having their hot and heavy scene, the police come in to tell them that they've made bail. They all get out of jail, and they all come to the conclusion that jail is actually whack. Tina actually meets Candace. Yes, she does, because Tina picks up Bet from jail, and she meets Candace, and she shakes her hand. She shakes her hand. Granted, Tina does not know where Candace's hand has been, but Bet does. Another crime that has been committed against Tina for no reason. With episode 12, we wrap up concluding with, we get a reveal this episode that Shane's body count is 950 to 1,000. I actually have no concept of that, kind of. I feel like that's kind of like a straight person thing to like worry about somebody's body count. But like 950 to 1,000, like I know it's literally made up, but if someone were to tell me that their body count was like 950 to 1,000, I'd be like, okay, right. Like, anywho, Shane admits that she's actually in love. Like, she does say the L word. And while I am happy, I'm actually thrilled. I'm actually thrilled about this. I know it's not going to end well at all. We are finally here. We have arrived at episode 13, the final episode in season 1. I know it's been a long road and I just want to rip this wig off. I was saying that we had our first villain, which was Faye Buckley. Our actual real villain was Bet Porter. Bet Porter is a villain. Obviously, she's broken down. A lot has happened to her in the past episodes, and she is just in desperation. We have reached Reckoning Day number 2 in season 1. 2 Reckoning Days in 1 season. Tina is starting to realize that there's something up. She's calling Bet's work. Bet's not there. She's calling Candace. She's asking for Candace's number. They don't know where Candace is either. So Tina doesn't know anything yet. She's not aware of what's going on, but she's kind of starting to connect the dots. Thank God somebody has some sense, because we cannot say the same for our other friends, some of our other friends. Next, Shane McCutcheon. It is also Reckoning Day for Shane McCutcheon, because Sherry finds out that Clea loves Shane. So when Sherry's daughter says that, oh yeah, me and Shane are cracking it on, Sherry goes bananas and she kicks Shane out, rightfully so. Anywho, Shane is just like shattered because Sherry kicks her out and just is like, what is wrong with you? They're fighting. They've exploded. And Shane doesn't know what to do with herself. When it was in jail, she asked Tanya to take care of Mr. Piddles, her cat. Her beautiful, precious, adorable, sweet, perfect little cat. And what does Tanya do? She ends up killing him. And on that day, we find out that Dana and Tanya are going to get engaged. They're getting engaged. This is obviously not good. I will say, though, it's not Reckoning Day for everyone, because Kit here, she has broken it off with Mr. Snoop Dogg, and she is actually kind of considering Ivan in a romantic way. She's kind of like, oh, I'm not like that, but Ivan's kind of like convincing her. They're just having a good time. TBH. Jenny has added a man to this mix, so she's dating Robin and she has a man in the mix, and she's in this triangle with Marina, still kind of emotionally dancing around each other. And we are concluding episode 13 with, of course, the provocations art opening. So Bet actually got her way. She has fleed off the protesters and all that stuff, and she is actually doing good work wise. And literally everyone is at this provocations opening. Everyone is there, literally. We have Tim, Jenny, Marina, Robin, but Marina is with Robin. Jenny has shown up with the man as her date. And Tim is also there. And what does Tim do when he sees Jenny with a man? He immediately calls her a slur. Immediately. He says, you know that she's a slur, right? Thank God he is a decent man. And he was kind of like, I don't care that Jenny likes women. Another crime for Tim here. Now, finally, while we are at this party, we come to see Candace and Bet. They cannot keep it in their pants. They're off in a corner. All Tina sees. This is all Tina sees. This is Bet. This is Candace. That is all she wrote. That's all she needed. I saw it. She saw it. I felt it. She felt it. We all felt it. We felt. Okay? So they get home and she tells her, I know. Like, Bet immediately folds, drops to her knees, begging for forgiveness, and Tina slaps fire into Bet. Finally. I don't condone violence. I don't condone violence. But I cheered. From my perspective, I honestly never saw Alice and Dana like have even an inch of chemistry before Alice confesses her feelings to Dana at like 4 a.m. at Dana's house before she's about to get married to Tanya. Yeah, that's where they're ending off. And our final cuts of the season are Shane looking at her half-hung sign on her salon that Sherry Jaffe bought her, but of course isn't gonna build out because she hates her. Tina on Alice's couch. Alice comes home to find Tina on her couch after confessing her love for Dana. And Tina is in shambles. Tina doesn't say a word. She just goes over to the chart created by Miss Genius, Perfect Angel Alice, circles Bet, writes Candace's name, and connects Bet and Candace together. I watched this when I was single, personally, and I was kind of thinking to myself, is this really how lesbians are? If it is, I don't want it. I mean, obviously, I'm still here. This show actually traumatized me a little bit, especially because of all of the things that I saw go down in season 1. I was like, oh, is this how y'all are is this how we're supposed to be rolling? Because like, I'm not built like this. I just cannot be built like this. I'm sorry I had to torture you with the whole video with this wig. I literally was torturing myself with this wig as well. So now we're both free from the shackles that is this wig. And I hope you enjoyed the video and come back for the next one. I don't know.